How to prevent a heart attack. Every 40 seconds, someone in the US has a heart attack. But here's what most people don't realize. Nearly 80% of them never had to happen. When I first discovered this, I stopped blaming my family history and started looking at my daily habits. Because the truth is, your heart doesn't suddenly fail overnight. It slowly reacts to the choices you make every single day. Maybe it's the late night stress, the skipped sleep, or the foods that quietly build walls inside your arteries. And yet, the good news is powerful. You can rewrite that story. Today, I'm going to show you how to prevent a heart attack, not with fear, but with 5 simple habits that protect your heart before it ever cries for help. Because heart attack prevention isn't about avoiding life, it's about finally living it. Heart attacks are still one of the world's leading causes of death, and yet, most of them don't begin with pain in your chest. They begin quietly, in your bloodstream, years before the first symptom ever shows up. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, heart disease kills more than 800,000 people each year in the United States alone. That's 1 in every 3 deaths, a staggering number, especially when up to 80% of those cases could be prevented through lifestyle changes. Think about that for a second. The most powerful treatment for heart disease isn't a pill or a surgery. It's prevention, and it lives in the everyday decisions most of us dismiss as harmless: what we eat, how we sleep, and how we deal with stress. The American Heart Association has been crystal clear: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking remain the top drivers of heart attacks worldwide. But there's another layer: inflammation, the quiet fire that weakens your artery walls, triggered by stress, processed foods, and even lack of rest. These factors don't just make your heart vulnerable, they rewrite how your body handles oxygen, sugar, and fat, minute by minute. So, when people ask, why do heart attacks happen even to healthy-looking people? This is the answer. The danger doesn't always come from the outside. It's what's silently building inside your arteries, the plaque that narrows, hardens, and waits for a single trigger to block blood flow. The 2025 ACC/AHA guidelines describe this as a chain reaction, one that begins with small vessel inflammation, followed by lipid buildup and microclots that can rupture suddenly, cutting off oxygen to the heart muscle. That's when minutes start to matter. But the real prevention starts years earlier, with awareness. And yet, despite everything we know, too many of us wait for warning signs instead of understanding the whispers. We think, I'm fine, my last checkup was normal. But heart attacks don't schedule appointments. They strike when your body's resilience runs out. That's why prevention isn't just a medical recommendation, it's a mindset shift. It's about learning to see your daily routine as your first line of defense. The food you choose isn't just calories, it's information your body uses to decide whether to heal or to harm. The sleep you skip isn't lost time, it's lost repair. The stress you carry isn't invisible, it's chemical, reshaping your arteries with every breath you hold in silence. So today, instead of talking about disease, we're talking about design, the small, deliberate habits that can rewire your future. Because science is clear, and so is the choice. You can wait for a symptom, or you can build your shield now. And that shield begins with understanding how prevention truly works. So now that we understand the problem, let's talk about the solution, not the complicated one, but the human one. These are the 5 habits that research shows can change the trajectory of your heart's future. You don't need a medical degree for them, just awareness and intention. Keycap 1: the easiest step. Foods to prevent heart attack. If your food could talk, it would whisper the story of your arteries. According to the American Heart Association, what you eat directly shapes your cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and inflammation, 3 silent engines driving heart disease. Diets high in processed meats, added sugars, and refined carbs feed that inflammation, turning your bloodstream into a slow-burning fire. But here's the powerful truth: your plate can be your medicine. The Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, olive oil, fish, nuts, and whole grains, has been shown to cut the risk of heart attack by up to 30% in major clinical trials. These foods don't just lower cholesterol, they calm inflammation and make your arteries more flexible, more alive. So when you drizzle olive oil on your salad or swap red meat for salmon, you're not just eating, you're repairing. Every colorful fruit, every handful of nuts, every glass of water is part of your daily prescription for heart attack prevention. Keycap 2 Beyond the Gym. Natural ways to prevent heart attack. We've been taught that exercise is everything, and yes, it matters. But what if the real secret isn't just how you move, but how you recover? Sleep, for example, is your heart's silent guardian. Studies show that getting fewer than 6 hours of sleep a night increases your risk of heart disease by more than 20%. During deep sleep, your blood pressure naturally dips, giving your arteries a chance to rest. When you skip that rest, your vessels stay tense, always on guard, always inflamed. And stress? It's not just a feeling, it's chemistry. Chronic stress floods your bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline, narrowing arteries and thickening blood, the perfect storm for a heart attack. That's why natural ways to prevent heart attack go far beyond diet or exercise. Meditation, breathing exercises, journaling, these aren't luxuries. They're protective habits that regulate your nervous system, reduce inflammation, and stabilize your heartbeat from the inside out. So if you can't make it to the gym today, take 10 minutes to breathe deeply, unplug, and listen. That moment of calm might be the most powerful cardio workout you'll ever have. Keycap 3 Knowing your numbers. The high cholesterol check. Here's the reality. You can't fix what you don't measure. Every person's heart has its own story, and that story is written in numbers, blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. According to the 2025 ACC/AHA guidelines, checking your lipid profile regularly, especially LDL cholesterol, is crucial for early prevention. Because high cholesterol doesn't hurt, doesn't burn, doesn't announce itself, but over time, it builds up inside your arteries, forming plaques that harden and narrow the pathways your blood depends on. And when that plaque ruptures, that's the moment everything changes. That's the moment a silent risk becomes a sudden emergency. So, check your numbers, know them as well as you know your phone's password. If your LDL is rising, don't panic, respond. Small changes in your diet, more fiber, omega-3s, and movement can make a measurable difference. Remember, high cholesterol and heart attack are connected not by fate, but by choices. Keycap 4 Small moves, big protection. Most people believe that heart health requires huge effort, but science says otherwise. The CDC recommends just 150 minutes of moderate activity per week. That's 30 minutes. 5 days a week. A brisk walk after dinner. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator. These moments train your arteries to stay flexible, teach your heart to beat more efficiently, and lower your resting blood pressure. It's not about running marathons, it's about momentum. Consistency beats intensity, always. Keycap 5 Quit the hidden killers. Finally, let's talk about the habits we often underestimate: sugar and smoking. Nicotine constricts your arteries and reduces oxygen to your heart. Excess sugar fuels inflammation and raises triglycerides, making your blood thicker, slower, more prone to clot. The combination? A ticking time bomb. The World Health Organization warns that quitting smoking reduces your risk of heart attack by half, in just 1 year. That's not a miracle, that's biology healing itself. So if you're still struggling, start with one small change. Delay your first cigarette. Switch to one less sugary drink. Every reduction is repair in motion. Heart attack prevention isn't a mystery, it's a practice. And the beautiful truth is, your heart doesn't need perfection. It just needs a chance. A chance to heal, to rebuild, to beat strong again. Now, let's pause for a moment. You've just learned how to feed your heart, how to calm it, how to understand it, but knowledge means nothing without action, and prevention isn't a lecture. It's a lifestyle shift. When people hear prevention, they imagine restrictions: no salt, no sugar, no fun. But that's not what heart health truly means. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. Because when you understand how to prevent heart attack, you're not just avoiding disease, you're reclaiming the life you thought you didn't have time for. You're choosing mornings with more energy, nights with deeper sleep, and days where stress doesn't own you. The American Heart Association calls this living with awareness, the quiet. Daily acts that protect your arteries long before they're damaged. A 10-minute walk after dinner. A handful of almonds instead of chips. Saying no to one more hour of scrolling so your heart can rest. These aren't sacrifices, they're investments in longevity. And here's something the data can't measure: how it feels to take control. Because prevention is not about perfection, it's about momentum. Even small wins, one less cigarette, one extra glass of water, one mindful breath, compound into a lifetime of strength. Think about it. Your heart has beaten over 2.5 billion times since the day you were born. It has carried you through joy, loss, laughter, exhaustion, and it's still showing up for you. Maybe it's time you show up for it, too. When I started this journey, I didn't promise myself a new life overnight. I just promised consistency, one good choice at a time. And that's when I realized, heart attack prevention isn't a medical mission. It's a mindset of respect for the heart that's been keeping you alive all along. So let this be your bridge from knowing to becoming. You don't have to change everything today. Just start somewhere. Start with your next meal, your next breath, your next choice, because every small act of awareness is a quiet promise to your future self. And that future? It begins right now, with you, and the heartbeat that's still fighting for more. You've just learned how to prevent a heart attack, not through fear, but through simple, proven habits that anyone can start today. But there's one more truth you deserve to know. Prevention doesn't start with your diet or your workout. It starts with understanding the cause. Because behind every heart attack is a story written in cholesterol, inflammation, and stress. And if you've ever wondered how high cholesterol and heart attack are connected, how those invisible numbers can silently decide your fate, that's exactly what I uncovered in my earlier video. So when this one ends, don't stop here. Watch that next video, the one where we break down the real root causes. So every healthy habit you build actually hits the target. Remember this. Your heart doesn't just need you when it's weak, it needs you when it's still strong. Every heartbeat you protect today is an act of love toward the person you'll be 10 years from now. So take this moment, share it, save it, live it. And if you want to go deeper into the science, the stories, and the solutions that truly redefine heart health, subscribe to the Cardiac Hub, where knowledge meets action. Because the greatest victory isn't surviving a heart attack, it's never having one in the first place.